Recorded live from the Podcast Studio of America, located in Lancaster, Ohio, it's the Joe and Dan Podcast Show.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for checking out the Joe and Dan Podcast Show. My name's the Joe.
And I'm the Dan.
Here, as always, my best friend and awesome guy over there. We've been having a lot of fun. We did some really cool intros that we're never going to see the light of day, unfortunately.
We'll have to save those for the best of, the greatest hits.
Oh, man. How you been, buddy?
All right. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Pretty good.
Been kind of hot outside here lately. We have a heat wave. A heat wave. We're having a heat wave.
Yeah, crazy thing about summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm curious about?
Summertime.
You remember when you're a kid?
Summertime. I like it.
That's right.
I like this song.
When you're a kid and the summertime goes by so quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes by just as quick when you're enjoying driving to work and not having to dodge the school buses.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you go to the public pool and the lifeguard blows the whistle and all the kids got to get out. But now that we're adults, we get to stay in the pool.
I never go to the pool, though. That's the thing.
I don't either. Not public. I mean, I go to like hotel pools and stuff, but I haven't been to a public pool for a long time.
I don't know. It's not as fun when you're an adult to get in the pool.
But I remember as a kid, though, going to the public pool.
Dude, it was great.
Yeah, but it's like that sucked when the lifeguard blew the whistle. It's rest time. Everybody's got to get out except the big people.
I didn't mind. I was probably going to eat something soon anyway, so.
Yeah, it was a good time to get out of the pool and take a pee, you know. Because, you know, some kids stay in the pool and pee.
There's two types of people. There's little kids that pee in the pool and the ones that lie about it.
If you see the water getting yellow, get out. Uh-oh.
When I was a kid, I was all about running and jumping in the pool, then getting out and hopping back in and doing that over and over again.
I'm having technical...
We have a telephone call coming in. Caller.
Technical difficulties.
Caller
here.
On the line.
Annoying.
It was they were just checking in to
Couldn't
see
get
if
rid
his car warranty is up to date.
It's probably the Russians hacking in on the Joe and Dan Podcast Show.
Speaking of the Russians,
yeah, what's going on with the Russians?
The new thing with the Face app that it will make you look old.
Yeah, you did that.
Yeah, I did. It was awesome. It gave me a big old honking nose. But now it's like the Russians.
They make you look Russian?
Because the app is based out of St. Petersburg, Russia. So now they think that they're gonna hack your phone and get all the information off of you.
Oh man!
So they're like Chuck Schumer wants to do an investigation on it and stuff, and it's like, so far they're gonna get a picture of me young or youngish, I'm old, whatever, an old picture of me in my email address. Have at it, Ruskies. I don't know what you're gonna get with that. They're not gonna steal my identity.
We have ways of making you look.
They're not gonna steal my identity. I mean. Nobody wants to be me.
I'll tell you what, this identity thing is getting crazy anymore. They just had a breach of what was it? Was it one of the big credit?
Oh yeah, Equifax.
Equifax. Yeah, they just had a breach of Equifax. Equifax, whatever.
I've heard that they've cracked like almost everybody's email, and it's only a matter of time for they get around to your email. They've got so many cracked, but I don't know, man.
Yeah.
With stuff like that, it's like like defending Michael Jordan. You can only contain him. You can't stop him. You just contain him the best way you can, and they make smart choices, I guess. And
making smart choices on the next Joe and Dan Podcast Show.
A very special Joe and Dan Podcast Show. Dan gets bullied at work, and we want to talk about it.
It's like a flashback. Okay, so what's been going on, man? Oh, you know what? Let's tell everybody about our fan club.
Oh, that's
thingy.
right.
What's going on with that?
So for the longest time, since pretty much day one of the podcast, Dan and I have had a like page on Facebook, and pretty much everybody listening to this, which we get. Let's address this for a second. We get about 40 to 50 views on our YouTube page every time we do a show. I'm pretty sure 38 of those are you and me listening to it again.
Probably.
But we do have people. I have people
we entertain ourselves.
I was at the old B&K a couple weeks ago, and
B&K, hey Bob.
Hey Bob. BJ that goes there was talking about the podcast and specifically the game we played last time, whether it was a real band or a tribute band.
Yeah, that was fun.
So it was pretty interesting. It's always nice when I run into friends and they mention stuff in the podcast. And
it means we actually have people out there listening.
So if you're listening to this now, mention some of this stuff later because it makes us feel good. But anyways, the like page, if you have a like page on Facebook, it's one of the ways Facebook makes money. Basically, Facebook is free, but as you know, when anything's free, you're the source of revenue, your stuff. And they're always like bugging us to try to boost our page for money and get it out to other people because you can pay money. We've done it a little bit before. You throw them a little bit of cash and they'll show your page to a bunch of people, but then it doesn't really do anything. It just one of our memes or come celebrate pure podcast glory, or something like that. And it's really not really getting our word out. And what we really envisioned with this like page was have a place for our listeners to all come together. And so we've launched a
special place just for you.
Let me pull it up now on the Facebooks because we need to give them free advertisement too. It's there's the like page. All right, it's a closed group. Right now, there's only 2 members, myself and Dan.
That's right. You have to be special to enter.
You just you search for it, and it's not a secret group, so you can find it. You just have to ask to be put in, and Dan and I are the moderators. We can accept you into the group, and we think it'd be a nice place to put your memes, for jokes, podcast. We can share podcast news, interesting stuff you see on YouTube. If you hear something on the show, this is your chance to give instant feedback to us.
It's a great place.
We want to make sure it's not an issue to where this is just for our listeners. We're not going to promote this anywhere else. You have to listen to this podcast to even find out about this.
So to make a long story short, we've developed the Joe and Dan Podcast Clubhouse. Please join. It's a great place, great time when you come inside. We got carpeting on the wall. We got music on the stereo. Mix you a drink, sit down in a cushy chair, and enjoy the conversation. It's the Joe and Dan Podcast Clubhouse.
I was just thinking like standby.
You're invited. Everybody's invited. If you listen to the Joe and Dan Podcast show and you enjoy the show and look forward to it, or maybe you don't look forward to it, maybe it annoys you, but you listen anyways, come on in to the Clubhouse.
Were you looking for the Joe Rogan podcast and you found the Joe and Dan Podcast? Well, thank you for coming along. We appreciate it. So, yeah, if you're listening to this, please join our group. Chances are, if you're listening to this, you're on Facebook anyways. And
we can have some interesting discussion, maybe some feedback from the last podcast or some ideas for the next podcast. It can just be kind of like a social place to gather and just chit-chat.
And once we get this thing going, I'm going to shut down the like page. There's no reason to have it anymore. I don't think there's...
Shut it down. Shut it down. Okay, my bad. Shut it down.
Shut
it down!
I'm thinking of bringing in some black lights, strobe lights. We'll make it really deco. We'll
boom, boom, boom,
have a
boom,
disco
boom,
ball
boom,
and
boom.
everything.
Oh, disco. We're going disco.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Only in the Joe and Dan Podcast.
With some shag
Clubhouse.
carpet and
Heck yeah, man.
hi-fi radio with a record player on it.
We can all wear silk robes and smoke pipes like Hugh Hefner.
We'll be dropping stacks all night long. With
Come
the
on
hits.
in. It's the Joe and Dan Podcast Clubhouse.
It's a rock and roll all night long. Okay, coming up next, a big bopper. Well, this broke down really quick. But
No.
I hope we're not giving this too big of a build-up. It's just you and I, and nothing's posted in the group. But
Hey, I'll join.
you already joined it. I joined you.
Oh, okay. Well,
But we can post photos, events. Like we have a Facebook event. We can if we ever do a live show, bam, we'll put our event there. There's files if we want to put stuff, albums. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. There's tons of groups on Facebook. Chances are you've already done one of these.
However, we do like to follow by the same policy we follow by the podcast. We try to refrain from politics and religion because that can get nasty, and we know everybody's got opinions, different sides, and we want everybody to be happy and be friends and all that good stuff. So
And there's plenty of places on Facebook if you want
yeah,
to show your butt and drop your politics and call the other party a bad name.
We're going to be different. We're not going to do that.
Nah, it's just ignorant. I think when you do that, anyways, if you're just calling a group of people that think differently than you, a name, it just I don't subscribe to that. I probably did it when I was younger, but
So then when we get our people gathered in our clubhouse, we'd like to give everyone that enjoys the company of the Joe and Dan Podcast show a name, like maybe Like, the Jimmy Buffett has the parrot heads, and we could say the pod heads, or Pod Nation, or something like that. I don't know. We'll give ourselves a name.
The Joe and Danimals.
Ooh, I like that. Joe and Danimals. So anyway, that's what we got going on right now. We just opened the Clubhouse up, so give it a try, and we welcome you. And we're going to move on now. What else is going on?
One last thing about this. I'd say the first person who joins our podcast gets a small prize that we'll name later. Remember those prizes, that event we were going to try to do?
A T-shirt and the greatest hits.
We don't have any T-shirts yet. But
CD of the Joe and Dan podcast show. Oh, yeah, we don't have any.
It'll be something. It'll be
maybe a candy bar. Piece of gum?
It's not going to be a brand new Lexus, but we will get you a prize, and we'll even make a video presenting it to you. We're not like you there, but we're like, hey, it's Joe and Dan, here's your prize, and we'll make arrangements to get it from you.
Joey could go down to that Dollar Tree and get a bag of like those plastic rings and stuff like that. That might be
good.
Dude,
those are sweet. I'm keeping them for myself.
What's going on? What else is going on? You're doing CrossFit, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
What's going on with that? You've been working out really, really hard with this CrossFit thing. Why don't you tell everybody about this?
Well, first off, I'm not in real CrossFit. I'm in a CrossFit boot camp.
What exactly is CrossFit to start off with?
CrossFit it's just, first off, you can work out anywhere. There's all kinds of workouts.
So it's a gym.
It's a gym.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff, it's not like it's a lot of free weights. It's very organized. You come in, like if you're doing the CrossFit, they have a agenda for the day. It usually takes about an hour. For us, in the boot camp, it's a lot shorter than that. Our workouts usually last between 20 and 30 minutes because the first part of the hour, they teach us stuff like how to properly do a squat or like this morning we did kettlebell lunges. Where you hold a kettlebell and you just do lunges, and it really works your legs, trust me.
A kettlebell? What's a kettlebell?
A kettlebell looks like, remember the old cartoons? They had the bombs that were round and had the wick coming out of it?
Yeah.
So it's round like that, but it's got a handle on it.
Does it have a wick somewhere?
No, there's no wick, but it just reminds me of one of those bombs from the old cartoons. But it's got like a handle, and you can swing it. You can hold it by the handle.
Is it heavy?
They come in varying weights. There's some down to 8. There's some, I imagine. So mine was at 25.
So it's like the old medicine ball with a handle, sort of, but it's made out of iron.
A lot smaller than medicine ball. We have medicine balls too.
Oh, okay.
We do a thing called wall ball. Where you stand up next to a wall and you put the ball on your chest and you drop down to a squat, and as you raise up from the squat, you throw the ball up and forward and hit the wall.
Oh, I had a devilish idea. Play dodgeball with one of those.
You'd be knocking people's heads off.
That'd be killer.
It would definitely be.
Here
killer.
comes one.
Dave's dead.
Next.
But I don't know if I'll ever join the real CrossFit. It's going to come down to budgetary reasons for me. It's kind of expensive, but on the plus side, you get so much. There's a trainer there working out with you. The camaraderie there is amazing. If you go into that place and you can't expect to perform anybody else's level, which is anytime you work out, that's a little silly. If Dan and I are going to run, one of us is going to run faster. It's just the way it is.
You put that Rocky song on, buddy. I'm on my toes. I'm running.
But you have to work to your.
That was Hawaii 5-0. How's the Rocky song go?
No,
that's not it. That's not it either. We're trying to figure it out. We probably have the music playing in the background.
Wait. You got it, bro. I don't need to help you at all.
Come on, man. You got to help me.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
Never mind.
We all know. If you know Dan and I, Dan's the singer.
You want to karaoke that song?
Dan's the singer.
There's
I'm
no
the
words
funny
to
guy.
that song. It's just music. Hey, we could make up words to that song. You want to make up words to that song? That'd be fun.
I did karaoke LaGrange once.
Did you?
There's only like 2 lines in the whole song. It was great. Rumor spreading around that Texas town, the deeper side, the Grange. That's pretty much it.
That's it?
There's a little bit more, but not much more. I was drinking my beer like, best song ever.
That's going to have to be another topic for another show, is songs that have the most minimal lyrics in them.
But stepping back to the CrossFit, it's really nice. Everything is scaled personally to you. It would make no sense for me to go in there and try to do a pull-up. I can't do a pull-up.
So when you first walked in, you had all these big bodybuilders standing around pumping massive weight and iron, and you walk in and they hand you the bar without any weights and go, here, start there.
The bar is 25 pounds. So
well, there you go.
A lot of times you do start with just the bar.
Yeah, right.
There's the boot camp group are all to themselves, and there's people. There's varying different
boot camp. You have like a drill sergeant.
No, it's not. They don't yell at you or anything. I go to a CrossFit 740 one.
What was that one actor that used to play the drill sergeant all the time?
R. Lee Emery.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah.
I am Sergeant Major Bogus. I am your senior drill instructor. I am here to turn you slimy civilian cesspool parasites into United States Marine Corps space aviators, invoking bowel-wrenching fear into the dark hearts of your enemies. Why are you here?
I just picture a coach like that standing behind you going, you can do one more push-up. Come on.
It's more like they'll clap and say, come on, you got this. And, man, I can't tell you how much it helps you.
Mm-hmm.
Helps out so much.
Somebody to motivate you.
Yeah,
and you got it. And you won't get that in just any other gym.
No.
So you're paying for the coaching.
Yeah. What's funny is when I go to Planet Fitness, I want to high five people and stuff. They just look at me weird.
Like, what?
Do I know you?
There's a weird guy walking around trying to high five everybody. I think you need to kick him out of here.
The lug alarm goes off. No high fiving. No high fiving. You are not to have fun here.
We will kick you out.
But I recommend it. I go to CrossFit 740 in Lancaster, Ohio. I'm doing another 6-week boot camp, and I'm probably gonna skip out for a little bit after that.
So how much does it cost to do it?
The boot camp for 6 weeks is $100.
Well, that's not bad.
No,
for
it's
6
not.
weeks.
And it's not for what it is. It's really good if you got the means to do it.
I mean, people spend $100 on other stuff, but that's not as good for you as
once again, a Tesla S-Type is a really nice car if you got the funds for it.
Yeah. So what's your goal with this?
Well, to be honest with you, people were recommending CrossFit for a long time, and I was finding an extra $100 for discretionary money, and just hard to do a lot of times. So I told some friends, a very limited amount of friends too, that I was saving up some money to be able to do the CrossFit thing that I just completed. And I got a message from the gentleman from Dustin Lansing from CrossFit 740. Said somebody paid for my membership.
And that's awesome.
And I think I figured it out. But when somebody does something nice for you and wants to be anonymous, you should accept the blessing. But at the end of the day, it bugs me because I only told like 3 or 4 people that I was thinking of doing it. So the circle was small. And
so it has to be somebody in a smaller group of people.
Yeah,
probably.
it's either the person I think it is or people are lying to me.
Yeah. Well, and obviously they want to remain anonymous. So
yeah,
you got to respect that. But
then I bought
a really, really nice gesture for somebody to do that for you.
So I bought this one, and my goal has been for a long time. I want to get down to 199 pounds. I have not been under 200 pounds since high school. And I was, probably junior high. And I weigh less now than I have my entire adult life, which is it's really wild.
Wow.
I always held on to my skinny clothes, and I'm glad I did. But they're starting to get big on me now. I'm having a huge clothes issue coming up soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I know it sounds like
losing weight or gaining weight can be expensive when it comes to needing to buy clothes that fit you.
Yeah, but you tell people like, "Oh my God, I got such problems. I'm losing so much weight. I don't fit in my clothes." They're like, "Shut up."
Right. It's like, really? That's a problem. Well, that's great. Congratulations on that endeavor. And it's done well because I've definitely noticed. I'm not the only one. Noticed the change. I mean, you're looking a lot thinner, and you said you feel a lot better. And sometimes that's actually the most important part is you feeling better, feeling good about yourself. So
I got kind of bad knees, so for every pound you take off, it helps your knees out incredibly. And but the worst part about doing all them squats and everything else, that really hurts the knee too. So
yeah.
I got a knee brace on. Here's exactly what doing CrossFit in your 40s looks like. I've got a knee brace on my right leg, and I won't go into the other thing, but it's another old man problem I got going on. But it's nothing I can't beat with a little medicine. So.
Right. And some other good medicine for everybody is, as we both always talk about, is music. And we just recently had the Lancaster Festival. How'd you like that segue? Was it pretty good?
That was good. That was good. That was industry good.
Didn't you check out some of the Lancaster Festival events this year? I unfortunately was not. I didn't do anything this year, unfortunately. But you did. What'd you do?
I did. I always start off first off with the art walk. I love the art walk. Now, technically, the art walk is not part of the Lancaster Festival. Did you know that?
It's separate, but it actually kind of, for most people, is the kickoff.
Yeah,
because
it is.
Of the Lancaster Festival. It's the first event, but yeah, it's
Destination Downtown.
Totally
I think
it was
care of that.
It was well before the Lancaster Festival even began, wasn't it?
I don't know. The festival's around 35 years, so
yeah. Well, the art walk, hasn't it been around for a long time too?
I don't think the way it is now. I remember before they had.
Anybody know that answer? Just let us know on our Facebook page, or you can enter the Joe and Dan Podcast Clubhouse and let us know.
Yeah, let us know. If you're listening in Sheboygan, Iowa, you might not know the answer to that one.
Yes.
But I remember the only time I remember Main Street being shut down like that, I think was part of the Zane Square Festival they used to have in August. I don't know if you remember that or not, but they used to have it was celebrating the heritage of Ebenezer Zane coming through Lancaster, and it was turned into like a craft show. They had a lot of crafts and stuff, and they had a different stuff going on, but it sort of just phased out.
When I was younger, I thought the Zane Trace was about an artist that sketched, traced.
Zane didn't draw it; he traced it.
That's right. He was a plagiarizer of art. He traced things. So you went to the art walk, and what else?
I had a real good time there. There's what's nice is
did you see any art?
No, I did not see any art. I ran into my buddy Dusty, and we walked.
Then why did you go to the art festival?
Well, they got this thing called beer.
You could get that anywhere.
Yeah, but it's a big party. So
they have
it was
bands.
really hot that night. There was a lot of good bands, and I didn't get to see any of them I wanted to.
Oh.
But what I did do, I walked from one bar, and I'd buy a to-go beer, and I slowly walked through the crowd, and people watched, and went to another bar and bounced around. I watched these guys live a little bit. I did see them.
Oh, so they were there this year.
Yeah, they had a good time
band.
with them.
Were they set up in the same place?
Yeah, it was really hot this year. It was crazy hot that day.
Yeah, that's why I didn't go.
The Carlsons were at the. They're supposed to be a really good band. They were at the Ale House, and I missed them.
Oh, I didn't go because it was too hot, but also because I had to work until like 8:00. So the actual art walk would have been over with, but the bands and stuff, I would have been able to do that, and I have enjoyed that in the past, but it was just too hot. I wimped out.
So we went to if you pay attention to our podcast, our buddy Sarah called in last time, or we called her or whatever. She was in town, and we went to J.D. Henderson's and hung out there with her and her buddy Jenny, and we had a pretty good time. But that was my art walk. I just bounced around and saw people.
Did you, other than the art walk, then, did you go do any other music shows or anything?
Well, there's one that's I didn't go to either of the two big shows with Sarah Evans or Kansas. I've seen Kansas before. I don't know. I didn't hate on them or nothing. It just wasn't like, hey, let's go listen to Kansas. And I probably would have had a good time. I just had other stuff going on. But I did go. It's a tradition to go to the tribute night, and they had a Jimmy Buffett tribute band called Bluff It.
That's usually every Wednesday of the festival, right?
Yeah. In between the two other music events, they have Bluff It, which is where not Bluff It this time, but they have the tribute night.
And this year was Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, well, they just called Bluff It.
Which
was
is
a band, yeah.
Tribute band to Jimmy Buffett.
You know, it was cool. I had a bunch of friends there, and I just bounced around from one friend to another. I had 4 different friends there, and I just.
And how was the crowd? Were the crowd?
The crowd was pretty good.
Were they dressed for the occasion?
About 25% were.
And they're like grass skirts and Hawaii shirts.
Mostly
and
Hawaiian shirts and hats.
Right.
I did see some grass skirts and some coconut bras on guys and stuff like that. And there were some inflatable fin head hats and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of beach balls. There's always beach balls there, but a ton of beach balls.
You got to have a beach ball at a Jimmy Buffett concert, so a tribute band's got to have that too. Did any of them wind up on the stage?
He brought a bunch of girls on stage, just random women.
Beach balls floating around the crowd.
They always
wind up on the stage.
That always happens. Yeah,
it does at Buffett because I've actually been to the Real Deal many times. Jimmy Buffett, and that's a fun time. It's not just a concert; it's before the concert starts too, because they have the tailgate party and everything. But when the concert starts, people are on the lawn dancing and everything, and they're throwing beach balls all over the place. And they usually wind up on stage, and Buffett runs over and kicks them back into the crowd. And he gets into it with the crowd as well. He's all over the place.
Well, Dan, you might not appreciate this, but I had a relevation at the Buffett concert.
You had a what?
A relevation.
A relevation?
Yeah, I had
not a revelation, but a relevation.
I had a sense of enlightenment, an idea. Came down from the sky and landed on my head like a meteorite, and my eyes just shot open with inspiration. And I realized
bird pooped on your head,
something like that. But so I don't want you to think I'm being disrespectful to Jimmy Buffett, but I recognize this: Jimmy Buffett is Barney for adults. Think about it.
No, he's not.
Think about it.
No, he's not.
It's. When Barney comes out, little kids dance around and sing with him.
Little kids came out and danced around him?
With Barney, the purple dinosaur.
Barney was there?
I'm saying Jimmy Buffett is Barney for adults. Think about it.
Right, whatever.
Think about the Barney song. I love you, you love me, cheeseburger in paradise.
No.
And it's nothing about
Barney doesn't drink.
I'm not putting. Well, it's for adults. I'm not putting down Jimmy Buffett. I'm thinking about how the people react, or the way little kids react to Barney, is what I'm saying.
Well, any big entertainers, you got people goo goo gaga on over though.
I'm telling you, it's Barney for adults.
Whatever. So was it good?
I always have a good time. It wasn't my favorite of the tribute nights, but it was better than probably a little better.
I don't think Jimmy Buffett's for you. You're more of an '80s rocker kind of guy.
I like '70s.
I don't see.
I like '70s, '80s.
Yeah, I don't see you really understanding.
I never liked Barney
Buffett
much
phenomena.
either,
but you don't like Barney.
No.
You probably watched Barney every Saturday when you were younger.
No, I like the Teletubbies.
Oh.
You ever?
I like Bugs Bunny.
Do you ever go out drinking?
I'm a traditionalist.
And you come home and you put the TV on in your room and you fall
No,
asleep.
I don't watch Teletubbies.
No, this has happened to me several times. I come home and I'm watching something on TV and I fall asleep, and when I wake up the next morning, like there was this weird show on CBS in Sunday mornings. I don't know what the hell I was watching CBS in the nighttime when I came home, but it was these clowns that had a rock band.
Oh, yeah.
That is really weird to watch when you're hungover.
What is it called? The Insane Clown Posse?
No, it's not the Insane Clown Posse. I don't even know if I can Google. I'm going to get on the Google machines and see if I can. Let's see, Rock and Roll Clown Kids Show. It was like, oh my God, am I still drunk? The Doodle Bops. That was it.
So would the name of the group be the Doodle Bops?
They are the Doodle Bops.
Never heard of them.
Wow, you got rid of it. I'm showing the video to Dan.
Okay.
Yeah, you try.
Enough of that.
You try waking up at a hangover with that on TV.
Yeah. It's a bit bizarre. It's the HR puffin stuff.
Yeah, that's probably about the same deal.
Is that what it was called? HR puffin stuff?
That was that was more of a 60s thing. 60s,
yeah,
70s.
It was a British. It was like a big giant puppet thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked like an acid-inspired kids show.
Yeah. I remember that. I used to watch that. HR puffin stuff. So anyway, yeah, the Lancaster Festival, you hit that a little bit. And now it's over. State Fair is going on now. The next big festival The Irish Festival, my
Do you know-
one and only favorite not my one and only, but I think the great festival for me of each year is the Irish Festival. That's this next weekend.
Yeah, we were going to try to go together, but it's
Saturday,
not going to work out, unfortunately.
Sunday, 1st of August. So lots of Irish culture, music, food, everything. So
It's been a couple years since we did that together. It's been like 2 years, but we'll get into it again.
But it's summertime. There's all kinds of stuff going on. There'll be another festival next week and the week after that. And, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
Dan, when you edit this, I want you to play some serious music. So, like, right now, there's probably serious music playing through the power of editing.
Okay. What kind of serious music do you want?
You can, whatever you decide. He's probably going to play Doodle Bops. Where are the Doodle Bops?
No. You want some like instrumental type?
Yeah, something like that.
Like dramatic or sad?
Sad.
Oh, you want like sad?
Like the end of
melodramatic?
Like the end of The Incredible Hulk when he's walking down the road.
Okay. All right.
Bonus points if you get that actual song. I want my podcast nation, the podcastinators, whatever.
Podcastinators.
That I gave up going to see REO Speedwagon and Night Ranger that are at the Ohio State Fair right now as we speak. For $28, I could have seen Night Ranger, one of my favorite bands of all time.
They're washed up now.
Oh, dude, it's Night Ranger!
Is this still the original members?
I don't care. You can still rock in America.
Well, if they're not the original members, it's a tribute band.
It's $28. It's fine. It's not like paying $80 to go see Queen when it's two of the guys in it. And I did have one of my friends say, I don't hate on Adam Lambert. It's fine.
It's not really Queen. It's Queen and Adam Lambert.
It's fine.
He's not really a member of the band.
I have zero problem.
Is that right? He's like a guest singer, more or less. Or he's the current guest singer. But they always advertise it Queen and Adam Lambert.
The thing is, I don't think they're doing any original music, and that can always change. But if it wasn't for Adam Lambert, those Brian May and was it Roger Taylor, the other one? Yeah, John Deacon retired. They wouldn't be out playing. And I was a big fan of Paul Rodgers with the Queen, but Paul Rodgers ended that. They did a tour and he didn't want to do it again. And they had so much fun going out, and they were trying to find a way to get back out again, and they just fell into Adam Lambert. They were on American Idol. They met him, and
okay, enough about Queen. What about Kansas? Do they have the original members?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay, that would be good to know, because a lot of these old bands, they may not have the original people.
It's
They're just
hard to.
Still hanging on. They got like the Beach Boys. How many of those guys are still in the band?
They have it's like the Army. They got a bunch of reserves.
Yeah.
Call in Skippy. Yeah, it's unfortunate if it's the Beach Boys. Wait, first off, Brian Wilson, alive or dead?
Brian Wilson?
Yeah.
He's alive.
Okay. Yeah. I had no idea.
That would be a good game to play. Rockstar, alive or dead?
Do you ever hear about someone passing away and you're like, holy crap, I thought they've been dead for a while.
Right, but then you'll have some of those people like Elvis. Ooh, Elvis. That's debatable. He may or may not be alive. I don't know. What else is going on? So did you go on any vacations?
No, I haven't done any vacations yet. I went.
Didn't go anywhere like
China.
I didn't go. I would never go to China. I'm not going to
China
anywhere.
either.
No, there's nothing. Come for the food. Stay for the smog.
How about? How about Russia?
No, I'm not going to Russia, comrade. What's your dream vacation? Where have you never been that you'd love to go? Money's not an issue.
I'd like to go to Ireland.
Oh, Ireland would be good.
I'd like to. I like tropical destinations too. I think it'd be cool to go to Tahiti or what's the other one?
See, I'm a little concerned about
South Pacific Island.
I'm concerned about bugs when you get warm and hot.
Yeah, deep into the Caribbean, anywhere there. I think I would enjoy that.
I've never seen the crystal blue water. I think that would be cool to see once. But I'm not going to be in my deathbed like, I never saw the crystal blue water.
Hawaii is where you want to go to see crystal blue water. It's just amazing.
Well,
down in the Caribbean, you get more like greens and stuff because of all the coral reef. But Hawaiian waters are deep and pure, and they're dark blue.
My friends live in Florida say when you go to the Tampa side that you have a lot more clearer water over there.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is that why they have a town called Clearwater?
Maybe so. Ding! I hit the nail on the head.
Bing, bing, bing. You get the prize. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to go to Japan.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be neat.
I think that would be great. What's the longest flight you probably took was Hawaii, right?
Yeah, that was a long trip.
So what do you play? A couple movies, give you a pizza?
They do. They do show you movies. Yeah, they show you movies and they give you meals and you sleep, and then you watch a movie and you get some meals and you sleep, and your butt's pretty tired. You're ready to get off that airplane when you finally land.
I'd imagine it. Longest I've ever been is probably Reno. Yeah, it's got to be it because everything else. And that wasn't a direct. That was a couple different flights. I've done a direct flight to Vegas before. That's nice. Get it done and get it over with. They don't show movies much anymore now. Now they got an app for your phone that you can
watch movies on your own.
Yeah, you can. And plus with Netflix, you can download a certain amount of movies. They can download 2 at a time, so you can just do that because you have to have an airplane mode. But you can just watch Netflix on your phone. I did. For what I remember that trip, I was a little inebriated for that.
Do you remember
flight.
what movie you watched?
I watched, it was a British show about time traveling.
Time travel?
Yeah, no.
Time Traveler?
No, it was...
A Time Machine.
No.
Oh.
It was the time traveling
hot
handbook
tub,
or something
what's
like
the one
that.
called? The hot tub time travel?
I love the hot tub time machines. We're going to get the Google box here. It was an interesting... It was okay. It was fine. Let's go to time travel Netflix movies.
I like time travel movies.
About Time was good. I've seen that different one. I haven't seen See You Yesterday. I can't think of the name of that damn movie.
I really like the Back to the Future movies.
Yeah, they're really good. The sequels all play in pretty good too. They're very, very rewatchable.
It's sad that it ended. I'd like to see more of them.
What would he do after that? He done.
I don't care.
Doc, we got to go back to the ancient Roman times.
I don't. Marty. I don't want the adventure to end, man. I mean, I just want to keep. I mean, I guess they've done everything though. They started by going back in time, then they went back to the future, and then they went back in time even further.
Well, because he gets stuck back in past at the end of the second movie. He goes
back to the Wild West days. Mm-hmm. So then what would they do for the fourth one then? What do you think they could do there?
They would come to this time now and deal with millennials and people arguing on Facebook.
And have like or maybe go back in time to change history of some or with the intent to change something tragic that happened in history. You know, I don't know, like the JFK assassination or the Hindenburg or the Titanic sinking or something like that. And
now, how would you stop the Titanic from sinking?
Tell them there's an iceberg ahead. Change course. Veer to the left.
They're not going to listen to the guy in the strange clothes come up and tell him about the...
Well, there's some way to do it. It's Hollywood. Come on.
No, I thought you meant in real life. You went back in time. You think about it, it's hard.
But the thing is, if you did alter that, how else would that affect history?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
There was a book Stephen King did called November 22nd, 1963, when this guy's a school teacher and there's a diner just down the street that sells incredibly cheap cheeseburgers. They're really good, but everybody makes fun of the place, say they're rat burgers because they're so cheap. Well, one day he gets a call from this guy, wants him to come by. So he goes there, and he looks so old, and he's coughing up blood. And he can't figure out why he aged so quickly. So he tells him that in his storeroom, there's a portal to 1955. And when you go in that portal, you live, you can stay there as long as you want. But when you come back, you're exactly 1/2 hour later. So he would go back in time, get hamburger in 1950, bring it back here, it could be better hamburger and be cheaper. Well,
but each time you come back, you're a half an hour older.
Yeah. Well, he stayed. He decided he wanted to prevent the Kennedy assassination, and he goes back in time and makes it to like 1962 or something like that. I'm just picking a number at this point, and he gets lung cancer, and he's going to die. So he has to come back, and he wants this guy to stay and prevent the Kennedy assassination. It's a fascinating book.
What's the name of it again?
November 22nd, 1963. It's the day Kennedy died.
That sounds like a good book.
And there's a movie version of it. It's a TV movie. It's on Hulu.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, Hulu, you have to pay for Hulu, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I recommend that highly.
Yeah. Then you got to have Hulu first before you can watch it.
I got a Hulu.
I don't have Hulu.
If you want to, it's like six episodes, an hour long. So it's a long way through. But I can come over, we can load up my Hulu or something.
I used to have access to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have that anymore, but I have Amazon Prime. But I miss having Netflix because I wanted to see the newest Stranger Things.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I told you, man. I got it. I have. All right. So I wanted to.
So
add,
you have Netflix.
Yeah.
Also,
I added my.
You have Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah, Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime.
You have all those?
I accidentally signed up for Amazon Prime, and I really need to end it.
Yeah, because it's like, well, I mean, it's like only $100 a year, but
I pay per month, but still, it comes out the same. But
that's the only thing you use it for?
That and shopping at Christmas time. That's the only time I really shop on.
You ever
Amazon.
listen to music? They got a good music app on there too, like Spotify.
I don't.
I listen to that a lot.
There was a deal with.
I shuffle between Amazon Prime and Spotify to listen to music.
There was a deal where you could get Spotify Premium with Hulu, and it would work out. I would get both those for only $2 extra a month. So I did that, and that was nice. When I went on my trip to Vegas, I with the premium Spotify, I could download music to listen to when you got to be in airplane mode.
So, have you been watching Stranger Things?
Yeah, I think I'm episode 7.
And is it any good?
It's really good. Yeah, it started off a little slower, but
is it different than like the last 2 years? The last two?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's still
because the second one was kind of a little bit sort of like the first one, and I was kind of like, okay, where do they go from here?
If they go to 18 seasons of Stranger Things, it's always going to be about the upside down world trying to invade our world. That's just the gimmick with that show.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense to have Elle in it if it's not. Elle's the little girl with the psychic ability,
right?
But they do a new twist to it this time. And
okay,
a couple of new twists to it, and
I'm gonna have to get it somehow. Can't you get like a 30-day free?
Yeah, you can do that.
So I'll wait until the season's over with. Then I'll get a 30-day free trial and I'll binge watch it.
There you go.
Can't do that?
You can totally do that.
Okay.
Then you can cancel it and get another email address and do it all over again.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Here on the Joe and Dave Podcast Show, we show you the thrifty ways to get things for nothing.
Oh.
All right, what about you guys out there? Have you are you guys following any series, TV series, or movies or whatnot? Give us something.
What's nice about streaming stuff for me is, with as busy as I am, I usually have time for eating real quick and changing clothes. So I pop YouTube on and I watch some YouTube a little bit.
Do you have the red tube?
No, I don't do that.
So you can't watch Cobra Kai?
I have Vase.
Oh.
I have Vase.
Okay.
Then I might only have time.
I got rid of that one way.
The other, let's say I got time for a half hour, or if I'm going to go to bed and I want to watch something, go to bed. I'll like right now I'm going through Cheers on Netflix. I love Cheers.
Oh, the old Cheers.
I'm about 4 or 5 episodes into season 2.
Now let me ask you this: which generation of Cheers did you like? Did you like the original one with who was the old baseball guy?
Coach.
Do you like that one with Coach, or did you like it when was it Woody? When
Woody was awesome.
Woody came on board after Coach, didn't he?
Yeah, Coach died.
Yeah.
The gentleman played Coach. Woody was great, obviously a great actor, but nobody's better than Coach. Coach was just his timing, what he deadpanned. He's one of the greatest. He is. I'll say it right now. He is the greatest supporting character ever in a sitcom. I mean,
it's a pretty big statement to make there.
You can put that on our page in our Joe and Dan Clubhouse. I'm like, I mean, he's not the main star of the show, but he was so good. He could deadpan so good. Like Sam and Diane were when they were dating the 5 minutes. I'm not right where they're dating on the show, and Coach interrupts them, and Sam looks at him and goes, "Coach, we're getting ready to kiss." He's like, "Okay, Sam, hold on a second. Let me put some mouthwash in."
But then Woody's pretty funny because
Woody was good. Yeah,
he plays kind of like the dumb guy too, or the not so much
naive.
dumb, but naive. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
Or somebody had to come in after Coach.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they had to fill that void.
And we did fine. He did great.
Yeah.
Nothing against him at all. The Coach was amazing.
Yeah, that was a great show. Then you watch any Friends?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I need to get on our like page.
That was another good segue too, wasn't it?
That was His name is Dan. He's king of the segues.
That was something we previously talked about. So yeah, you were talking about Friends, and you put some stuff on our page. Regular Facebook page, not the Clubhouse, right?
I can't
regular
wait to
Facebook
do this.
page. You were posing some questions out there, and we had some responses. Why don't you tell everybody what that was all about, and maybe we can get some more people involved in that.
All right, this poll goes on for another 22 hours, so by the time you're listening to this, it's going to be over. But on our like page, we did a poll, and I asked the question on Friends: whose side were you on during the great on a break debate? Now, if you were not familiar with Friends, there was a couple named Ross and Rachel. They had a very on-again, off-again relationship. At one point, for a long time, Ross loved Rachel.
And Rachel played by Jennifer Aniston, and Ross was played by...
David Schwimmer.
David Schwimmer, right.
So even back when they were in high school, because Rachel was friends with Ross's sister, he always liked her. Then, right when she decided he was awesome, he started dating somebody. But then, they were just like, they almost like, to use the term, they Sam and Dianed it a little bit. So once they finally get together, they get in an argument, and finally Rachel looks at him and says, look, I can't deal with you anymore. We just need to have a break. He's like, what? She goes, we need a break. And she leaves. And so Ross is hurt, and he's concerned about another gentleman that Rachel is flirting with, and he thinks he sees them, like he gives her a hug, but he thinks that they're going to get romantic. So he runs off and runs into this girl that's been flirting with him. She's known as the Copy Girl. I don't think they gave her a name other than Copy Girl. Gets drunk and sleeps with her. And he tries to keep it from Rachel, but she finds out, and she's upset, and she breaks up with him. And I've always taken Ross's side, because she was being mean. And what is a break anyways? I mean, if someone tells me they're we're breaking up, it's why I'm going to take it. And I think that's what he didn't want to. He was still trying to get back with her, but I think they're broke up. And my voters are kind of agreeing here. I'm going to go to the comments here. Kyle Big Tuna Russell, he better be the first one to join our group. He put, unpopular opinion, don't really care for their relationship. When Ross was interested, she wasn't, but as soon as he was seeing someone else, Rachel wanted him. But if Ross would try for Rachel again, she was back not wanting him. And I responded, dude, that's real life. He put, yep, and it's annoying. And he was talking about Ross being a little whiny. Jerry Conant said, sorry, buddy, I don't watch Friends. And I don't know how you don't watch Friends. Come on, bro. But right now, Ross is leading 69% to 31% over Rachel.
Now, are all those responses from guys?
Well, let's look at
any of the girls.
Let's go to the Rachel. The Rachel has Catherine Smith Harrison. Let's say her name right. I've only known her forever. Yeah. BJ Selby Fair, Kelly Keaton. One guy took Rachel's side.
Okay.
I don't know who this is. This is
just trying to be fair.
Oh, this is the lady. Marty Phillips said that's 4 for Rachel. And over on the Ross side, we've got myself, Tiki Porter, Kim Dobmeyer, Marie Liptak, Patty Sudlow, Jeff Husband, Mark Savage, our very own Brittany, and Jim Otto all took Ross's side. So you'll see stuff like this, hopefully, in our group. A little more.
I don't have a comment on it because I haven't seen it for some time, but I just think they were both, at times, very ridiculous with each other.
Now, when I was younger,
back and forth. It was just crazy. They wanted each other, but they just kept refusing each other. It was ridiculous. They played mind games with each other. That's crazy.
Well, when I was a kid, when I was younger, in my 20s, when I watched it, I was clearly on Ross's side. Now I'm thinking, I'm old now. I'm like, y'all sleep around way too much.
My favorite character on Friends was Chandler. Chandler Bing.
It's because you look like him, sound like him, act
I know,
like
people
him.
say that. No, I actually did. I liked his character. I think he was funny. Who was your favorite character?
On Friends?
Yeah.
I liked, it's going to sound like a cop-out, but there's not one that really stands out. It was clearly an ensemble group.
Right. It definitely was. That's why it was so successful. It was a good ensemble.
Ross
group.
was probably the one I related to the most, but he could be so douchey sometimes and so holier than thou.
Picky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey's cool. But
Joey was like most laid back of all of them.
But he's real.
How you doing?
He was real cocky about how he was with women and stuff.
Yeah.
And Chandler just a little neurotic, but he was still
exactly. Yeah. Well, I think what makes a show a good show is to have a good cohesive ensemble cast. That's why Friends was so successful. That's why Seinfeld was so successful. You know, you got MASH. I mean, I could name a whole bunch of them, you know, that were standouts. And that's the reason they were standouts, because they had such a good ensemble cast. Because there's been other comedy shows that have come and gone that really didn't do that well. And it's probably because they only had maybe one or two stars of the show, and the rest were just kind of like wallflowers, you know. I mean, they were trying to be funny, but they really... Well, I guess the... Big Bang Theory is another one too.
Yeah, I would call that
ensemble cast with that.
I would call that an ensemble cast. Like if you look at Seinfeld, even though it's got a great cast, there is still Seinfeld's show. I wouldn't. That's not.
Yeah,
really
but each of those characters were
they're
unique.
supporting characters.
Oh yeah, they were amazing. All of them.
Ooh, what about Kramer is the greatest supporting character ever?
Well, yeah, Kramer was
Kramer,
he was my favorite one. He was hilarious. Every time he burst on the scene and slid through the door, it was just like, okay, here we go, craziness.
But who was better, Kramer or Coach?
Oh, that's a hard comparison.
That's really hard.
Yeah, that's hard.
Kramer was around a lot longer. Coach passed away.
Then George Costanza had his own appeal too. He was hilarious because he was just like.
I would almost feel sorry for him, and he would do something real douchey,
right.
And I'd be like, "You deserve everything you get."
Yeah. Anyways, what do you guys think? What are some of your comments? Who was your favorite character on some of the shows we mentioned, or what's another show that we forgot to mention? How far back can you go? You know, I mean, obviously, Joe and I remember a lot of the stuff that we watched when we were growing up, but I mean, there's also shows that were before our time or when we were too young to watch TV. And the one that pops in my head is like Andy Griffith's show. Lucille Ball is another one. Great ensemble casts right there, you know. So,
Lucy Ball, I wouldn't call that ensemble.
Oh, I do.
She was clearly a star, though.
Yeah, but you had her best friend, and then Ricky and his best friend. They were neighbors. All four of those guys.
Had a great cast. Yeah, but I mean,
Lucille Ball was definitely it. Well,
she was the center of every episode.
She was
like on Friends.
Yeah.
Being an ensemble, they could.
But that was a highly successful show, and it still is.
Oh
today.
yeah, it's great.
And I think, you know, it was the four of those characters.
But like on Friends, they could take away, have a more Ross and Rachel episode, or have a more Chandler and Monica episode, or bounce in any direction. They were always all those were in that episode, but it wasn't like centric around one person.
Right.
That's why I think of ensemble. I mean, it takes the whole group. Like Newhart, both Newhart shows had great big casts, but not one.
They weren't.
Bob Newhart was the center of it all.
He was like the main thing. Yeah.
So yeah,
I get that.
I loved I didn't round for the one where he was the psychologist. I saw some of the reruns. It wasn't really appealing to me as a kid, but the one where he had the inn.
Yeah,
in New Hampshire.
The second Bob Newhart show.
I like that show a lot.
Yeah,
I watched that a lot.
Yeah,
even like Carol Burnett. That's
well, that was a variety show, but that was that was a good ensemble cast.
Yeah, because they would sometimes do
in a different way. You know,
she was featured prominently, but they would have things without her. They might have Tim.
But then you
Conway
saw that cohesiveness come together when they developed the Mama show, Mama's Family. That was just amazing. You know, you got Carol Burnett, of course, Vicki Lawrence, who's amazing, Tim Conway, who I thought was the funniest person ever,
genius,
cracked me up. Harvey Korman was always a good, solid comedian and an actor for
one of the best
those
straight
four
men
right
ever.
there.
Well,
was a great group.
I don't know if I call him the best because he would crack too easy because he would try to be a straight guy and then start laughing.
That's the part that was funny. That was the thing that was unique about the Carol Burnett show is they would do those skits and they'd crack each other up, and they just let it happen. And that was the funny part.
Which skit? All right, which Carol Burnett skit's your favorite? Or name a couple if you can.
Well, one of my favorite ones was just Tim Conway and Harvey Korman, the dentist.
Yes.
I love that one. That was so.
Because isn't it Harvey?
If you guys have never seen the dentist skit from the Carol Burnett show with Tim Conway and Harvey Korman, look it up on YouTube. It's just so funny. Tim Conway is the dentist, and Harvey Korman is the patient.
Isn't he like a gangster? Want to get his teeth done really quick or something?
No. He's just a dentist. He's going in to take care of him, but Tim Conway's going to give him Novocaine, and he somehow manages to fumble around and shoot himself with Novocaine in different parts of his body, yes. and every time he shoots it, like in his arm or something, his arm goes limp, and then he winds up shooting it, in his other arm, and then I think he winds up shooting it in his leg, and the whole time, Harvey Korman's just sitting in the chair, just laughing so hard, just trying the hardest not to laugh, but he can't do it. He's just losing it. But Tim Conway stays in character the whole time. He doesn't crack one smile, and that's really hard to do.
Because he stabs.
He knew it had to have been funny.
Because he stabs the one hand, and he's like his right hand, so he's trying to work with his left hand, and as he's doing that, he actually stabs himself in the leg, and
yeah. And then he's trying to take care of Harvey Korman, and his hands don't work, and he's like slapping him in the face with his limp wrists. And, it's a great skit.
All right, my favorite, and there's a ton that I like, but would have to be the Mama Family skit when Tim Conway's talking about going to the circus and seeing the two elephants with their nose ties together.
Yeah, that was a good one, and he had everybody cracking up. Well, they lost it And he stayed in character.
When he's telling the story about these Siamese elephants, they weren't tied together.
Yeah.
They were connected to the trunk, and they would swing back and forth, and a little monkey would come out and do the merengue on it. And you see everybody drawn in listening to it, and then they sneezed, and that was the punchline, and everybody just dies. And Vicki Lawrence was the last one always to break character.
Yeah.
And she broke. She couldn't help it.
Yeah. She's a good actor.
Now here's what's interesting about the Carol Burnett show. By the way, a shout out to my roommate Jeannie. She gave me. She was going to sell it in a yard sale. It's I think it's 6. It's 4 or 6. I haven't got into them yet. Of the Carol Burnett shows on DVD. So I'm going to tear those.
Yeah, I would sit down in a heartbeat and just watch that. Vicki Lawrence, speaking of which, is a great singer too.
Yeah,
can't take that away. In fact, remember the song "That's the Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia"? She was the one that originally recorded that song. Did you know that?
I know she recorded it. She had the biggest hit with it. Wasn't that I don't know if that was
Reba McEntire did a remake of it.
That might have
most
been a
recently, but the original and popular version of that in its day was Vicki Lawrence. It was a pretty big song back then.
Oh, definitely the most well known.
Yeah, she was the one that recorded that. A lot of people don't know that.
She got started in the show. She sent a fan letter to Carol Burnett and really wanted to meet her and told her how much she liked her and idolized her. And somehow they okay, here we go. According to Wikipedia, "The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia" is a Southern Gothic song written by Bobby Russell and performed in 1972 by his then wife Vicki Lawrence. You're right, 1972. I had in my head that somebody else recorded it before then, but no, I was wrong. But yeah, she sent a fan letter in, and somehow corresponding with her, they hit it off, and Carol Burnett recognized how talented she was and brought her on the show.
Yeah, that's awesome. Be interesting to hear the background of things like that, stories like that, of shows or great comedic teams. I guess in sorts they were kind of a team, but we talked about some of the great comedic teams in the past. You got your Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy, and the rest of them, Lewis and Martin, and all those. We had to do
Lewis and Clark.
We had to do a podcast sometime and talk about them and
Lewis and Clark.
Give a little background, the story on how they got together and how the successes.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I know we had talked about briefly before.
Has there been a modern day two comedians like that? I think the closest you're going to get
a lot have tried. They've tried.
I think the closest you're going to get like is Chris Farley and David Spade.
Yeah, but then you have Will Ferrell and what's his name? The guy that was in numerous movies.
Vince Vaughn?
No.
John C. Reilly.
That's it. John C. Reilly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they've made attempts over the years to try to pair people up, and then you had Richard Pryor and
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. They tried to team them up together.
They had a lot of really good movies.
Yeah. Right, yeah. So they've attempted to make comedic teams, but I don't think they've been as near as successful as
Cleavon
some of
Little,
the ones we just mentioned.
In Blazing Saddles, the part Cleavon Little played of the sheriff, I think that was written for, Richard Pryor.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and then he, for a reason, he didn't do it.
Huh.
Yeah, I would definitely put those two as but it's just a different animal when you get into the 70s. They didn't have variety shows. Look, Bing Crosby and Bob Hope.
Yeah.
How many of those on the road did they do?
Right. Yeah, I don't know, but that's another team.
There's no way.
Yeah.
If you and I became famous, we're gonna, and this bounces back to we're 25 years old. There's no way we're gonna get like 18 movies, like exactly the same, because there just weren't as many movies that came out back then, and it's not gonna happen. So
the golden age of Hollywood.
Well, stuff changes. It drives me nuts when here's something kind of in the news recently. Endgame beat Avatar of the greatest. Then they always go by how much money you make, which drives me up a wall. You should go by the number of tickets sold. Now, if you look at a movie like Gone with the Wind, if you adjust it to inflation, it like flies up the list. But
that's true because the ticket prices were less back then.
So going by the money isn't really fair. But the other side of that is a long time ago there wasn't as many movie theaters.
Right.
And there wasn't as many movies, so they would show Gone with the Wind was in theaters something like 9 months or something.
But now you're getting to the point where I think movie theaters are seeing a decline because of the advent of home theater.
Yeah.
So, that plays into that somehow too.
I think probably, I don't know. It's either a movie's a monster hit or it's not.
When's the last time you went to the movie theaters?
I went recently. What did I see?
Did you really?
I saw Endgame. Definitely. I saw Endgame.
It's been a while for me.
I just saw one recently.
I just watch TV. I get the streaming movies.
What did I go? I went by myself. I watched something by myself.
There's a couple that I'd like to...
Oh, I saw Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed that. It was good.
There's a couple I'd kind of like to go see now that are out. And the first one, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I want to see that bad.
Yeah, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. That one sounds interesting. And The Lion King remake would be interesting to see. And Hobbs and Shaw. It's that new one with...
I haven't seen any of those movies. I'm not interested in those. Yeah.
But I probably won't go see them. I'll wait until they come out on movie streaming service.
I don't blame you. I am too. They
movie
Tuesdays
going to the drive-in movie theater though, it might be kind of fun though.
I haven't gone in like the last couple of years, and 99% of our 46 views that listen to our podcast are from Lancaster. But if you're not, Lancaster is blessed to have a really good. I'm sorry, get my nose up here. Has a really good drive-in theater, and I don't care what the movie is. I really want to go again. I mean, it's just a good experience. The food's
Let's go. Maybe
there.
we can have a Joe and Dave podcast broadcast. We can set up in the back. We can set up in the very back.
It's not going to work.
All the cars.
When I'm off, you have to get up early, and when you're off, I have to get up early.
I know. And then, of course, we don't have Brittany here because she wasn't able to come. Of course, she had an emergency in her family. Tony, her husband, had an accident at work, very unfortunate accident. He's okay, but he had to have surgery. But she has had a rough time trying to get here between work assignments, and now this. So we're still rooting for you, Brittany, and we hope that we will get you here on one of the other podcasts very soon.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. From Facebook, sounds like they're doing pretty good, but she needed to stay with him.
And we understand that totally, 100%. And Tony, we hope you're doing better, and we hope and praying for a speedy recovery for you, and everything will work out. Anything else going on, Joe?
Nope, that's it. We should end.
We should probably. we just abruptly okay, we're going to go. Bye-bye. So,
you know what we should do? We should play sound effects like, hey, come here, it's the police.
Somebody's at the door.
Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Talk to you guys later. Bye. Clink. Yeah, we should do that. do it right now. Yeah, we won't do it right now. Hope to see you again soon. Don't forget about that Joe and Dan Podcast Clubhouse, right,
yeah,
Joe?
Please join the Clubhouse.
Join the Clubhouse. Become a podhead.
Join the club. It'll be fun.
Pod Nation or whatever we're going to call everybody.
The Bobinators.
The podcast. Oh, we're still working on T-shirts too. We're still trying to come up with an idea on that. And
I finally found that site I was telling you on Facebook that was really cheap.
Yeah.
And I read the comments, and it's not good.
Okay. Well,
yeah, it's not good at all.
Not good at all. But we're working on that, and so hopefully we'll have that soon. So, anyways,
one last thing.
Yeah, one last thing.
We want to. I put some feelers out to some people about getting on the show and being interviewed. I got a couple people I've talked to, and they're interested. We just got to get our schedules together. If you're listening, you want to be on the podcast, you got a story, we'll fish it out of you.
Yeah, we'll set you up with your own mic and headphones, and we'll have a good time, man.
Also, if you're out and about and you see me, I would love to make some bumpers for the podcast where you just say, "Hi, my name's Ed Davis, and I listen to the Joe and Dan Podcast Show," and we can play that in the beginning. That would be a lot of fun, and I could record that right on my phone.
Ed Davis?
I don't know. It's whatever. My name's Biff Stevens, and when I'm sitting at home listening to YouTube, I go over to the Crazy Joe and Dan Podcast Show.
Well, if you guys are out there, yeah, give us a call. So anyways, we will see you guys on the next Joe and Dan Podcast Show. We're out of here.
Bye.